So are we going to start with the one I can't remember most of the songs from?
You're in charge of this one, Kev.
Okay. We have hoops to try and score. What are the numbers? Can you see the numbers? Is that's 10?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
It goes all the way up to 11.
So yeah, that's probably going to be used first, I think.
The most bland.
So this album, I don't own this album for some reason. Yeah.
Is this going to be an episode where we just rag on people's favourite albums?
Yes, that's the best. Our best videos are often that. You wanted to do jazz, but we can't do that. We can't not bother to listen to it. It's boring. It's Coltrane or something. But this we can, because this is just meh. Hotel California. That's
the song?
Sinking. No, the album.
Oh.
Just let it sink in just for a moment, and then okay. So yeah, it is weird as a bland album because usually the tepidness, it's about a sort of a consistent malaise, isn't it? And of course this has a fantastic song it opens with. I mean, it's awesome.
One of the best ever.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's A Stairway to Heaven. New Kid in Town makes me want to kill someone because it is actually Muzak. In the US, it's the third biggest selling album ever. The first biggest selling album ever in the US is Eagles' Greatest Hits. So it's Hotel California is in there twice, as is New Kid in Town, I assume. I don't know. There are some other songs on the album, and it's for dead people. That's it. There you go.
Yeah, I mean that's the point, isn't it? It's bland because it's not immediately clear from this album why the Eagles have a greatest hits album.
Doesn't matter. You know what song's going to be. It's like Lynyrd Skynyrd, isn't it? There's two songs.
Exactly like Lynyrd Skynyrd, actually. And yet they've sold millions and millions and billions of albums, and it's sort of what the hell's going on there?
Mm.
And my only thought is they're an American rock band with a good song, therefore every American in the world buys it.
Literally.
Regardless
200
of what's
million
on it.
sold.
Yeah. The title track itself is brilliant. But yeah, I can't remember any of the other songs on the album because they're all
nothing. Yeah, boring. Life in the fast lane. The production is very, very soft, and everything's just softened over. And just relax. Don't listen to the music. Just put it on, and it'll be fine. Yeah. So recorded in the same studio we've said before as Technical Ecstasy, the Black Sabbath album. I know the story about Sabbath had to clean out the mixing desk because it was full of coke, because they've been cutting coke on the mixing desk, which is, I mean, wouldn't they all empty? I mean, if they're addicted to coke, wouldn't they all empty it out and snort it? I mean, or maybe Sabbath were in that state, and actually, ironically, because of the song, the Eagles weren't. Maybe, I don't know. But there's the other story, which I've heard from less reliable, less consistently, is that Sabbath were recording at the same time. Well, maybe they were using the rehearsal room while they were doing the recording or whatever, and Sabbath was so loud they had to stop recording because it was actually bleeding through into their recording of Hotel California. There's Black Sabbath on this recording. What's going on? But that actually explains why Technical Ecstasy sounds so terrible. I bet they were doing it at full volume, turning it up to 10. When you record, you turn it down. You don't go. I mean, for God's sake. And Born Again probably as well. But Tony Iommi was onto something with Technical Ecstasy. He couldn't do it because he was on drugs, because he had no help. Should have got a producer. The rest of the band came in from the beach to occasionally record a bit, add a bit to Tony's songs he's writing. But the industry was getting silly-sized. There was one of the big jumps about to happen, and that's what he was trying to do. You know, what we called our bland rock album is exactly what you want to release in 1976. You know, not punk, because that stuff didn't sell that much. You know, it sold a lot in London, you know, but it didn't really sell much in the US. I mean, it sold eventually, but it's not like, you know, what we're selling was Hotel California and all that kind of stuff, you know, and Journey and Foreigner and what's the one with the riff that smells like Teen Spirit? Boston. Yeah. So that's that then. Boring. You know, none of those people were going to sell as much as Led Zeppelin or the Beatles in total, but it was the big money became silly money, you know, and this is that's the start of the music industry rather than the music business. That's the start of the 90s. The 90s is the peak, remember, and it's all about peddling apathy. You know, this is bland. The blander you make it and the nicer, the more people will like it, and therefore you will sell more. So as long as no one gets the opportunity to get everything for free, it doesn't matter if they don't value it. You know, it's fine. So we'll keep charging. Nothing. What could go wrong?
That explains a lot, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
It explains exactly why this album has sold so many, because it is bland personified.
Yeah, with a really good song as a single, and everyone's going to hear it, and etc. And then, you know, all the Barry Manilow fans are going to like New Kid in Town because it's the same.
Yeah,
as
so
Barry Manilow.
Do people who have actually bought this album actually like the other songs?
I don't know.
That's the big question, isn't it?
It's such a number. Some of them will, won't they?
Someone must.
Yeah, like I said, some of them will be Barry Manilow fans. Some of them will like anything and everything. They'll be bought the latest disco albums, and I mean Saturday Night Fever as well was the soundtrack was massive, huge. You don't always see it in the list because it's a soundtrack, but you know, same kind of thing.
Well, apparently it's a concept album. Did you know that?
Hotel California.
Yeah.
Oh, so the whole album is about. Okay, well that makes sense because the concept and everything about the song is brilliant.
Henley said this is a concept album. There's no way to hide it, but it's not set in the Old West, the cowboy thing. You know, it's more urban this time.
Yeah, because all those concept albums that are set in the Old West.
It is a very American thing, but I think that's what it is. That's where we struggle. I think there's a sort of
and we're a prog channel,
a British prog channel, who probably don't have that sense of, you know, the American dream and all that kind of stuff. Beyond,
we don't have any aspiration.
Well, it's not that. It's just like
we were just talking about Black Sabbath, weren't we? Yeah. They had Black Sabbath had serious imposter syndrome. They all did in different ways. You know.
Here we go. They're the same. This is Wikipedia, by the way. That's the depth of our research. They're the same themes that run through all of our work: loss of innocence, the cost of naivete, the perils of fame of exploration of the dark underbelly of the American dream, idealism realised and idealism thwarted, illusion versus reality, the difficulties of balancing love and relationships, blah, 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 blah.
It's about society. That's what should we make the album about? Let's make it about life.
I mean, you read that, you think, well, maybe this is on par with Dark Side of the Moon or something like that. I mean,
lyrically, it might be, because I know the lyrics to the one song, and the lyrics to the one song are brilliant. Yeah. And yeah, on the par with Dark Side of the Moon, probably. Certainly better than Stairway to Heaven.
And Exploration of the Dark Underbelly of the American Dream. That reminds me of Hunter Thompson, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Exactly that, yeah.
But this is nowhere near as interesting that.
I think Hotel California, I think it is. The lyrics are really good. Hotel California. I don't know the lyrics to the rest of the album because I can't remember them. Because I can't remember the songs at all because they're boring.
Actually, think about it. I mean, when you start talking about the American Dream,
America.
What Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was really about was what is the American Dream and is it dead, sort of thing. I think the problem with the American Dream is it's assumed to be well defined, but it's actually not that defined at all.
Well, we don't know what it is, really, do we?
I suppose it's a sense of feeling, isn't it? It's sort of sense that you can.
Well, yeah.
You're master of your own destiny. You're in charge of yourself and nobody else. But I think that's just right wing sort of propaganda, essentially.
That's. I mean, that's not really anything to do with it. But then again, we don't know what it is. I mean, when we hear that phrase, we think. Well, I think Truman Show, Stepford Wives, perfect green grass and mowing the lawn in the morning. Good morning to you. And the man goes to work with his newspaper, etc. You know, is that what it is? Because that's what I think of, and it. You know, everyone has a car and a massive house and and you pretend that the whole country is like that because the opportunity.
Yeah, I think opportunity is the key word.
Yeah.
In the American dream, it's the sense that you can, if you put enough work in, you can become extremely well off and happy and wealthy and stuff like that.
And that was we're told that was true 50 years ago, definitely. 60 years ago.
Unless you were an ethnic minority or gay,
etc.
etc. There we go. Anyway, controversial. I don't do politics anymore.
But yeah, I mean, you brought that up. But actually, I put here there's a bit of a stairway to heaven thing in interviews. In that, what I didn't realise was that those interviews he's talking about their lyrics generally. And I've always assumed all of those interviews I've ever heard were just about the song.
Hotel California.
Because they've only got one song. So, so that might be what I'm but I sensed a bit of a Robert Plant. Because Plant, in the end, he's now stopped doing it. He now just says he hates the lyrics and they're nonsense. But he would just make stuff up. People would ask, well, what's it about? And he would just talk crap. He'd just make things up. And I do remember there's... when she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed. And he says, what does that mean? Well, she can have anything she wants as long as she doesn't have to think about it. I always remember that. She's just crap. He's just talking crap. Brilliant. Because it doesn't mean anything. It's just phonetic. Jimmy Page, there's a hint in there or something, and he liked it, but that was all it was. Oh yeah, but whereas Hotel California is definitely about something. It's really good bit of lyrics. He's not making things up. I thought he was exaggerating. But I get the impression he gets these interviews and people take the lyrics literally like it's a song about a hotel. People think it's a song about a hotel, which is amazing. And it is about the counterculture. We have known that spirit here since 1969, and about the music industry and about how exactly what they were going to become part of what we were talking about. It's now the music industry. It's nothing to do with changing the world or anything like that. But I haven't seen him actually say it, or maybe he said it a bit, but it's about drugs. The song is about drugs. Of course it is. That's what it's about.
Everything was about drugs in those days, wasn't it?
Yeah. You check in any time you want, but you can never leave. And yeah, okay, the counterculture and all that, and the fact that they did nothing, they just lay around and had drugs. You know? It's about drugs. The song's about drugs. Of course it is. You've kind of already done this quite a bit more than me. But mentioning the counterculture still makes people angry, so that's why it's worth mentioning. Because people, they didn't do nothing. Oh, no better. I'm a libertarian. Stop them from doing it. That's enough of that. Right. Is there anything else to say about Hotel California?
Well, I think we've said quite a lot, really, considering how benign it is.
Well, there's one really good song. So, okay, there's one really good song. The rest of it, I can't even remember. Where does it go? We can't just put everything at 11.
Well, okay, so it's worth getting for that one song, isn't it? Really? So,
yes.
But it is more than mid bland because there's so much bland on there.
Yeah, I mean, it is astonishing how it shifts to music, full on music stuff.
My granddad's got this cancer, yeah. But it's like, I think it makes his hands, something happens, it makes his hands stiff or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he can take medication for it. And it controls the condition.
Yeah.
And it's never going to get aggressive or kill him or anything like that.
Right, it keeps it under control.
Yeah, so you're sort of like, you've got cancer and you think, oh no, cancer. And then you hear it, and then you actually find out what it is and you're like, well, actually, it's nothing to really worry about. And that's what this album is really. It's that form of cancer. It's sort of like really benign, really...
it's a harmless cancer. It's like It's a cancer of music, but not like a really bad one.
Well, you hear the best-selling album in America or whatever it was, and it's got Hotel California and that great song. You think, gee, yeah, this is going to be awesome. And then
I remember putting the album on for the first time because I knew the song. And I was like, oh my god,
the Eagles are a big deal.
That must have been the single. That next song. Let's wait for the next song. That's a bit boring. Okay, next song. And then I can't even remember because it was like, oh god.
So this goes up to 11, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is a special Blandometer.
Should we put it
goes all up to 11.
Kind of there.
Yeah.
There it is. There we go.
Whatever number that is, 11, 10, 9, 8 that is.
Yep. First Bland. Right, this next album I do own on CD and have bought twice.
Can't be that bland then.
Yeah. Because it's kind of the same time, so there's like a theme.
Oh no, the wall, the Blandometer's fallen over.
Yeah, it was just too bland. It couldn't just sort of. It didn't fall over. It just went sort of from listening to New Kid in Town. So what's interesting? It's that very similar type of production, and it's really soft. And it wasn't just a bad CD transfer from the original CD release. It's the remaster sounds the same. Really soft because it's meant to sound like that. Soft rock. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Look how many people are going to see them. See,
I mean, they were massive.
They were massive. Yeah, this is another one of those, And live, they're not bland. Not really. The songs are bland. However, it's probably a more interesting album to talk about musically, and it is a big list of classics. I reckon. Remember, it ends with Gold Dust Woman. There's actually only one filler. I'll go that far. I Don't Want to Know is completely meh and boring. Maybe Never Going Back Again, but I quite like that. So these are really good songs.
This is a really tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why it's interesting. It is bland, but it's really good. Of course, the reason is that I think that there were two couples. I think they were married, and they were splitting up during the recording. And the other guy, Mick Fleetwood, was having an affair with one of them at the same time. And then this was the biggest thing in the world, so they had to tour together forever. But that energy makes a thing. That's what it is. So they were aiming for the bland album, but it has that energy, which Hotel California does not have.
I think, personally for me, I think I find it so bland because when I think Fleetwood Mac, I think sort of like early Fleetwood Mac.
Exactly. That's what everyone says, isn't it?
Yeah. So Rambling Pony.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Albatross.
Maybe not Albatross. That is pretty boring.
I like Albatross. I had Need Your Love So Bad as the first dance at my wedding.
Oh, you did, yeah?
And it went on forever.
Really long.
I didn't realise how long it was. The DJ did not choose a short version. I'm sure there's a shorter version out there. There must be a radio edit.
I bet you've got a radio edit. That's what it is.
Yeah. God, it went on. But it's a great song.
Black Magic Woman.
Yeah. I mean, there's great blues. I mean, they were the good British blues band. All these other like Rolling Stones and that. They were sort of imitating and.
Yeah. Fleetwood Mac had an authenticity.
Yeah, they were actually
British blues, but it was proper.
Yeah, and then this is just
nothing to do with that at all.
This is just pop songs.
It is, yeah, but
good,
pop songs.
Good pop songs.
Pop rock.
Yeah, I really like the chain. Something about it that just
not just the ending. It's the whole. Yeah, that was the weird thing in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
they used the song bit, not the ending.
Yeah,
what are you doing? It's brilliant.
Yeah. So lots of good songs, but maybe we're not into pop rock. I know some people will absolutely love this album. Every track on it, they think it's amazing.
Yeah, and quite right. Actually, they're really good songs.
And even like the man's testicles in the picture.
Oh,
that's quite interesting.
I'll see. I've never noticed that. That's the thing with Mick Fleetwood, though. We'll talk about that in a bit.
God, he's so thin there, isn't he?
Yeah. Drugs.
But yeah, boring.
It is
boring. I mean,
brilliant boring.
Yeah. I'd listen to. See, this for me, this is better than Bowie. So Bowie, I love songs on an individual basis. Whole albums I find ridiculously frustrating and tedious. Yeah. This isn't quite tedious. This is okay to stick on, and I don't know.
Definitely works as an album.
Yeah, it works. It works as an album, and it's not annoying. It doesn't get annoying anywhere.
It's all really good. I think there's only one filler on the whole album. They're all classics, rock classics.
Maybe I just don't like pop rock. I don't know.
Well, maybe not. Don't know. That makes life tricky, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. So what?
Because that's what's
give me another good pop rock album. See if I like that.
Well, Hard Day's Night, but that's not. Forget that. That doesn't count, does it? Give me a minute. Well, Thriller is another one, and that's nowhere near as good as this. That's really fillery. I was shocked.
Yeah.
It's crap. It's crap album. No wonder no one's buying it anymore.
What else was on there? Thriller. Oh, it was Beat It, wasn't it? Probably.
Yeah, there's 3 songs in it. There's Thriller, Beat It, and Billie Jean.
Oh, Billie Jean.
There's nothing else on there for me.
Good songs, but yeah.
Yeah, let's go. It's a terrible example. Well, you like Dire Straits, don't you? You used to, and then we'd heard the album, and then it turned out.
No, Love Over Gold I like.
It's awesome, yeah. That's not really pop rock though. Yeah, it's Brothers in Arms, isn't it? And it turned out Brothers in Arms is really boring. It's not as good as we remember.
Oh, that should have been on here.
We've already done that though.
Yeah, maybe I just don't like pop rock that much.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe.
I've said it wrong. There's You Make Loving Fun, and there's I Don't Want to Know, and they're both filler. And I actually thought there was one song there. That's not a good sign. So yeah, there's 2 filler songs on this album. But yeah, they're all heavily covered. I think he's one of the reasons. There's cover versions of the whole album by loads and loads of cover versions of the whole album by different people. I think that's the thing. So they're all really famous songs. For me, it's Go Your Own Way and The Chain, which are actually they're the rock songs. But it's always going to be better live because it's blandified. They were trying to make an AOR album, weren't they? You know, middle of the road. Let's make $1 million. There was no. I need to emote my feelings of the burr. They've done that already, so they just we need to sell more albums now because we want more drugs.
Mission accomplished.
Dick. Well, my introduction to Fleetwood Mac, I think, must have been some black and white. In my head, it's black and white TV performances of Oh Well and Black Magic Woman and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure, but actually properly listening to them was a concert in '94, which wasn't that lineup. They split up. It's actually just Mick Fleetwood and John McVie. Is it John? Is that his name? Live in France '94 is probably accurate, but sometimes it's listed as '95. And it's the same concert. Okay, so you've basically got replacements for the people who aren't in the band at the moment, and this guy from Traffic as well. For some reason, they all play some new songs. So you can imagine Fleetwood Mac in 1994 what they sound like. They play new songs as well, and they're very exciting, as you can imagine. There's also a drum solo. Right, the drum solo is amazing. So he does some drumming, right, and that's one bit. But then he gets rid of the drum, and he has this wire that he attaches to his special coat. He can play drums on himself. Right, it turns out it's a synthesizer. And touching his crotch makes an 80s drum sound.
God, this is the most boring thing ever, Kev.
It's by far the most memorable part of the concert, but
yeah, it's ridiculous.
I know, but we haven't got there yet. But he does. I didn't remember it right. I thought there were samples pre-recorded. He records samples live and starts playing them. He needs to be in the band with Ian Anderson, really. The mad stariness. Is when you give technology to musicians, this is what happens.
I wonder what it'd sound like if you pushed him down a flight of stairs.
Brilliant, yeah, it would be avant-garde. Okay, that's enough. But eventually he does one that says God. Help me, God. Where is your God? It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And that's all. Because I saw that was on TV. It must have been 94 or 95. And that was my...
Inauguration.
Yeah. A couple of famous people. Well, the singer is the daughter of Delaney and Bonnie. Bonnie and Delaney. The Dominoes. Derek and the Dominoes.
All right.
Yeah. And I think that's where the guitarist from Traffic comes from. So yeah, that was. I thought, okay, that's Fleetwood Mac then. But that's the interesting thing that they went so middle of the road to make them their millions, and yet they're from that time. That they're not of that at all. So there's a real clash there of styles, which is really interesting. So how bland is this? Very difficult.
Yeah. So we've set a marker now, haven't we? 8 for Hotel California. Is it more or less bland than Hotel California?
It's less bland than Hotel California.
Definitely.
I think about there because it is very bland, whether it's good or not. Only Magma could be 0.
Okay, so it's like an index into an array. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6.
Lock, Stones and Aspic is 0.
That's pretty good. That's middle of the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
Middle of the road bland.
But quite bland.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, really, unless you're just bored. I mean, if you're on, the people watching this channel, it's a prog channel. We're here because we're bored, But anyone else, it is a recommended album for anyone.
Yeah.
Because it's really good.
What next?
Now we're going to record. Ready? Yeah. So the next album it's so bland. You ready?
I might fall asleep as soon as we start this.
Oh no. Da-da.
That's not the White Album. It looks like the White Album.
It looks like the White. No, it's not the White Album. There you go. It's The Wall. Yes. So it's all part of that same time of the huge growth in the industry, and we know when Pink Floyd had sort of made silly business mistakes, they thought they knew better because they're posh. And it turns out they didn't know at all. They didn't know what they were doing, and they'd lost all their money. And 2 of them had done solo albums, but it was okay because Roger Waters had written 2 new albums. Which one would you like to do? No, I don't know that. Yeah, so it's really bland, isn't it? Yeah, bland. There's that boring song when he stands on the wall. It's so bland. It's just AOR, middle of the road, boring.
Yeah, can you pass me the album, please?
Yeah, I can't remember the songs because it's so boring. Yeah. There's no energy.
Oh, he's got these stupid pictures inside.
As if there's some energy to it. As if.
And then I bet there's lyrics on the. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Lyrics on the album sleeves. How predictable is that? And boring and bland. But in truth, I mean, the first time you listen to The Wall, there's an awful lot of tracks on there which you think, well, what the hell's that?
Yeah, or that was boring.
Yeah. So, for example, Mother.
No, just keep saying Mother. Look at the lyrics. It's Mother in every line. God.
Mother, do you think they'll drop the bomb?
Yeah, he could have said Uncle for some of it. Or
Another Brick in the Wall Part 2.
Cousin Twice Removed.
Yeah, so, I mean, the big problem with The Wall is there's too much crap on there.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
It is true, though, until you get your head around what it's about.
Yes.
And what's going on. It's a little bit daunting. Like, oh, hang on. It's not like...
It's actually horrible for me.
It's not like Dark Side of the Moon, which has that darkness, but is instantly brilliant. Like, it takes some work, does The Wall.
Yeah, well, that's because it's Roger Waters. With a bit of help, and a lot of help from someone who isn't even in the band.
Yeah.
Is the biggest help.
Yeah. And then it becomes brilliant, but it is sort of bland for a lot of time. I'm trying to think how I did it. Did I listen to half the album, or did I pick songs out of it, or actually, do you know what? It didn't really all come together properly 100% until we went and saw it.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. The second version of it is the definitive version of it. It's a live show.
Yeah, so it's like Nobody's Home, good song.
Yeah.
But actually, as part of the show, it's like a real high point sort of thing.
Yeah, and then that becomes that good on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're not into Pink Floyd,
don't listen to The Wall.
yeah, if you listen, if you like this,
yeah, listen to Dark Side of the Moon. Just Dark Side of the Moon. It's fine.
Yeah. That's going to be super bland. That's going to be like there's lots of songs I've never heard on the radio.
Yeah. It's not going to be like Comfortably Numb.
And that would be what most people are expecting, I would have thought. Oh, Comfortably Numb, that's good.
I'll get that one.
Yeah, we'll get that one. The Wall.
Yeah, I remember people seeing complaints online after the 2005 show because they bought Wish You Were Here, because obviously they played that song and they thought, oh wow, I want that one. And they said, oh, it's just ages of just nothing. And I should have got Dark Side of the Moon, they would have been perfectly fine. Yeah. But obviously, Wish You Were Here is such a good song, they went for that one. You know, well, the problem with The Wall is there's no Rick White. It's not because Dave Gilmour couldn't put his boring stuff on there. It's because he did a bit.
He wrote Comfortably Numb, you know.
Oh, he wrote the song. Yeah. People get very angry about that. But the first version, the second version. So the first version is Roger's demo, which is horrific. Which I don't think we've heard the whole thing. We've heard like highlights, 15 minutes of it. It was like 4 hours long or something. But the first demo of it is much more. It sounds like Pink Floyd. It's got Rick Wright keys on it. That's what it is. And when Rick was kicked out of the band quietly, they took that back out again. So it went back to the demo of being like a Roger Waters solo album, which is what it is. Waters Ezrin album
with some Gilmour. I mean,
well, yeah, obviously there's going to be a lot of decisions made about arrangements and things like that, which wouldn't have been done because nobody would have been able to stand up to Roger. And I can guess. Well, you listen to the demo. A lot of it would have been a lot harsher, and a lot of it would have been just him and an acoustic guitar all the time, which is what happens to Final Cut, I think.
Too much Roger Waters.
Yeah,
he needs that pulling back. Remember, not everyone's like you, Roger. Anyway, I don't care. I feel like we're struggling to justify this as bland.
Yeah, we haven't done it over yet. Oh, can I bland it? It's so bland.
It's bland.
It's too difficult.
Up to 11.
Well, I mean, Comfortably Numb is one of those songs, like Rumours. Out of context, that's what it is. And I'll tell you what, Run Like Hell really is, which is weird. I mean, the one on the Wall live, I haven't heard an actual live one from back in the day that's as good, but the one on the Wall live album, where Roger's getting he's not getting the audience going, he's doing a ridiculous act and he's saying, come on, enjoy yourselves, clap your hands, let's have a clap, come on. He's fantastic. But the song is do 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 do, and that's the bit that's got to be the bit Gilmour's written. I've never been a fan of Run Like Hell and all those fantastic live albums. It's just a bit of a at the end, because they end with Run Like Hell instead of Comfortably Numb.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are people who will insist the best songs on there are Young Lust, Comfortably Numb and Run Like Hell. But they just looked at the writing credits. Young Lust is pretty meh, isn't it, really? But obviously, because he closed the shows with those two songs, was very smart. He sort of took ownership of the Wall there, which was very clever. Even though he actually legally didn't at that point. I mean, it does have. I'll tell you what, we didn't mention...
Gerald Scarfe gets a mention on the album, but not... No,
Nick Mason will be... No, he's not mentioned.
He's not mentioned at all. Where's the music, Roger Waters, except Young Lust, Waters Gilmour?
He plays most of the drums. I think there's one bit he couldn't do, and they had to get a session player in. I can't remember. I might have got that wrong. Someone can correct that. We should say, I didn't talk about Lindsey Buckingham, great guitarist, fingerstyle. So he's like a rough version of Mark Knopfler kind of thing. That's great. But I tell you what, the guitar solos on the wall are
really far away.
Yeah. Very, very. These are close, and these are far away. I imagine if Mother had been on a solo album, and instead of the guitar solo, you'd have Roger doing some synth stuff. This wouldn't be the same, would it? Come on. It does. It's almost. It's so in so many ways, nothing else matters. You have to have those guitar solos on there. All the other decisions made about Roger's songs doesn't matter. Bob Ezrin's weird production, whatever. Don't care about that.
So, did the royalties for this mostly go to Roger Waters and Bob Ezrin? Oh no, David Gilmour is down as a producer.
Yeah, because Gilmour's got production credit and co-written 3 songs.
Young Lust, Come to Be Numb, Run Like Hell.
Young Lust is on the demo, Roger's demo.
Is it?
But not the riff, I think. I assume Dave wrote the riff. Doesn't matter, it's not very exciting.
Jesus Christ, Roger Waters must be loaded.
Well, certainly now. He's doing another tour. Another massive stadium tour. Oh, he won't play stadiums, though. Until he can get £1 million quid. And then he will.
I tell you what, Gerald Scarf's amazing, isn't
he? Yeah. Still does the Times... Is it Times? I don't know. He still does cartoons in newspapers. Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah. You can tell straight away. Brilliant. I think it's the Marching Hammers. I think that's
So he did all the illustrations for. We mentioned Hunter Thompson earlier, didn't he? Hunter S. Thompson,
yeah.
And apparently, Hunter S. Thompson. The first time Gerald Scarf took acid was with Hunter S. Thompson, and that sort of changed his whole outlook on life. It was a real seminal moment for him. Sort of thing. Yeah.
That inspired all of that then.
Yeah.
There you go. Drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs must be good then.
Drugs work. That's the problem with them, apparently.
You can check in any time you want, but you can never leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. That was our bland episode. There will be no encore.
What we do next week, Kev?
Oh, I've got a list. I actually wrote them down because I thought of so many, and I've thought of another one on the way, but